Radio Rahim here with a man who needs absolutely no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway because I love to say Sugar Ray Leonard. Thank you for stopping by, giving us a little time. Obviously, we're here at the Johnny Tapia Documentary for the LA Film Festival. First of all, just give me your thoughts about Johnny Tapia and what brought you out for this film.
Well, I've known Johnny for a number of years. I promoted some of his fights, and I recall, Johnny's his battles inside and outside the ring, like some of us have done, myself included. But Johnny was the epitome of a fighter. I mean, he was such a warrior, and this story about Johnny Tapia can only be compelling for the most part.
Ray, you mentioned his struggles in the ring and outside the ring, and some of the things I guess that you share. But being a fighter, you have such a unique perspective on the struggles that someone like Johnny has to go through. Talk to me from that perspective, what it was that you related to in his struggle.
Well, being an alcoholic and being an abuser of drugs myself, I know the battle that he fought. Because what happens with fighters, we leave that ring that we've dedicated our lives to, and all of a sudden you are burdened by drugs and alcohol, and it becomes a thing where that you flood your soul, your spirit, because that's all you have left. And it can do one or two things: make you a better man by quitting, or kills you.
What would you say is the difference between how you came out to be where you are today? You're an ambassador of the sport, and Johnny didn't make it to this point. What would you say would be the difference?
I think the biggest challenge for most of us, like all of us I should say, is having the ability to surrender, to say, you know what, I can't make it, I can't do this anymore. And once you accept that, that is the first step of getting better.
There are going to be a lot of young fighters that see this, a lot of aspiring fighters that maybe have not gotten into that spotlight yet, but are coming from damaged homes, damaged souls. What can they learn from your story and Johnny's story? If you were to juxtapose the two, what do you think a young fighter, a young man, really could learn from the two of you?
I mean, there is no real manual. There's no real one answer for that, because once you hit it big, like some of us can or will, you just got to have good people around you, and you just got to be able to maintain perspective of who you are, where you want to be afterwards. And I think that's the biggest battle, just keeping things in perspective.
Ray, I learn something every time I speak to you. It's an honor and a pleasure. I really appreciate the time. Radio Rahim with the legend, Hall of Famer, Sugar Ray Leonard.